I really wanted to come on here and talk to you about desire, right? I think a lot of times we're looking for that magic pill or that magic, shot that's going to help us with desire and feel alive again like we used to in the beginning of our relationship, or feel alive again in our own bodies. And I'm here to tell you, even though I'm a firm believer in hormones, I'm a firm believer in things change when you have children or you have, medication or things of that nature, but a lot of it is emotional for us. Well, most of it's emotional for us women. And I think that we tend to stuff down our emotions or don't really dig deep into them because sometimes it can be painful and we just typically avoid it. And then when it comes to actually having sex, it really puts a break on what we're trying to create with our partner, and let alone what we're trying to create with ourselves. So I wanted to hop on here and give you some tips of how to access your sexuality and create that sexual energy for yourself, because it's something that we need to be doing every single day. Just like you practice reading, or you learn and you research, or you go to the gym. There's no special or magic pill to just make your libido show up. And even if you did have a magic pill to do those things, to get the desire to come back, would you really be dependent out on something else rather than just really getting to the core of things, okay? My first step is to practice sensuality and pleasure in your everyday life. And pleasure and sensuality typically do not have anything to do with sex. You can get pleasure with a good walk, grounding yourself in nature, or singing great songs and moving your body. You can allow yourself to feel pleasure reading a great book, or even eating your favorite foods. I think a lot of times we hear pleasure and we think sex, and we don't realize that we should be actively adding pleasure to our lives every single day. The second tip I have is what makes you feel sexy. And in those times that you felt like you were really sexually thriving, let's go back there and see what it was that made you feel truly in your essence. And I know a lot of times we don't want to look for like superficial things like makeup or clothes to make us feel better, but I really, really encourage you to find the things that make you feel sexy, right? And do more and more of that. So if you're really into wearing your favorite dress or wearing a pair of shoes that make you feel sexy, do more of that. There's nothing wrong with using things as tools to guide you into how you feel about yourself, but as long as it's in a healthy way. Now, if you're thinking that like I'm gonna buy these shoes so that I can feel sexy, that's kind of the wrong direction. What I really, really invite you to do is think back of when you did feel sexy, and bring more of that into your life. But also, like, if those shoes that, or your favorite red lipstick made you feel really good, like get back into that until you can kind of tie in, what it is that is really there for you on a non-materialistic level. My last tip is adding breath work and erotic stretching, or some sort of self-pleasure. So I know a lot of women have their blockages around masturbation because society or whoever told you that it was a terrible thing to do. So if you're actively like kind of afraid or really don't understand or know what will come up for you, having that shame and that embarrassment, I invite you to maybe do some erotic stretching to a really slow, very romantic song or playlist. Maybe laying there and doing some shadow touching, so that you can just really allow your body to know that it's safe and that it's not embarrassing. But if you are into self-pleasure, I really invite you to do that more often and add that into your routine as much as possible. It's very beautiful to really connect with your body in that way, because not only are you making a map of what really gets you there, you're really allowing yourself to get into this space to just really be comfortable with yourself. So when you are with a partner, you really know the direction and you really know what you want to feel. And so those are my tips for the day of bringing in and cultivating that sexual energy. And for a little bonus tip for those of us who have partners, or those of you who have partners, remember that it's all about communication, but it's also about comprehensive communication. Does your partner fully understand what you're asking of him? And does he hear it in a way that's not offensive? Because a lot of times we are trying to communicate what we want, and we come off in a different way than what our partner receives, and that can add some sexual tension. So encourage more of the behavior that you want to see, like, ooh, I really loved when you did this, or I really love how you did that. Can we do this more? And really find ways to really bring foreplay back into the bedroom. restroom. There's so many of us who are rushing to get things done, and unfortunately your orgasm is not like Amazon Prime. You really need to cultivate that energy. A lot of women unknowingly don't even understand that it takes our body at least 10 to 45 minutes to warm it up, right? 10 to 20 is your sweet spot. But if you're really kind of feeling pressured, or you're feeling like, I'm just going to get this done because, you know, he's here, it's really not helping you, right? It's kind of adding more brakes to your accelerator. So it's just important that you really take the time to slow it down, give each other a massage, take a nice shower together, do some outside of sex activities like texting each other every day, sending nasty pictures to each other or videos. I mean, hey girls, if you got it, you'll love that. And vice versa. What can your man do for you to be actively ready and excited about the night? How can he plan dates? How can you guys have a great time together, even if it's sitting on the bed enjoying a glass of wine and having deep, lovely conversations, or conversations about the future. Every woman at the end of the day wants to feel important, loved, heard, and understood, and safe. And so if we're able to create that, then it's absolutely beautiful, and you'll have a lasting and loving connection. Thank you, and I'll talk to you guys soon.